Hi, John.
Hey, Alex.
You know what I hate?
What's that?
Not knowing anything about soccer, which features heavily in a movie.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, because I was going to say we should do something about it, like, invite someone on that knows anything about soccer.
Oh, no, I know plenty about soccer.
Oh, then why the hell is Matt here?
I'm rapping now, I'm rapping for fun. I'm your goalie, the number one. You can take the mick, don't call me a clown. Any more lip and you're going down.
Well, anyway, we watched Escape to Victory. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
You survived watching the film. I'm happy to hear it.
Trying to get this film, trying to be able to rent this film, which was not available on multiple places where it said that it was available.
Oh, is that true?
Was a bit of a trick, but I did download it onto my iPad 1.
Oh, very nice.
And,
I had no idea we were such highfalutin.
Yes, and then I watched it on a plane on my way to go see the soccer match.
Oh, nice.
Los
Getting
Angeles.
pumped.
Yes, super pumped.
Yeah, I had a similar kind of thing that I could only find this movie in SD, in standard def. And the transfer was terrible. It looked really, really bad.
Oh, I watched it on Amazon and it looked good.
Oh, yeah. See, Amazon only offered it in standard def. I watched it through, I think, just my PlayStation 4.
Oh, yeah. No, I watched it in standard def because it's a movie from 1981. So I assumed it wouldn't make much difference.
It's on film, and I wonder if it's one of those things where just like the transfer, like it never went to Blu-ray. Maybe they lost the film. It wasn't well preserved or something like that. Because it's surprising to me when you see who's all involved. You have like awful movies that we've done shows on that are in HD. But this has got Sylvester Stallone, Michael Caine, and it's directed by John Huston, the director of Treasure of the Sierra Madre, The Maltese Falcon, and famously was Noah Cross in Chinatown. This cinematically, it's big boy season. The fact that this isn't anything other than SD is kind of amazing to me.
So here's the question for you guys. What was worse, the Holocaust or this movie?
I didn't hate this movie.
Yeah, actually I didn't either. I just really wanted to say something inflammatory.
Yeah, I also did not hate this.
Yeah, it looked really good. The acting was kind of, well, I mean, you got your transfer issues. I mean, I just thought what do you call it? Like the cinematography. I thought it looked really nice.
Great. 30 episodes in and we've just learned the word cinematography.
Well, I wanted to say directing. And I'm like, no, you don't say directing looks really good. And then that word would not come out.
I get it.
Oh, that thing that I'm a grandma now.
When I was at the soccer match that I was flying to, I mentioned this and the fact that I was going to be doing this, and so many people, because, it's all football fans and whatnot, so many people told me about childhood stories about this particular movie because they've been watching, following football forever, and how pivotal this movie was. And it did kind of bring me back to this time, especially the Pele thing, because Pele was such a big footballer when I was growing up, and he was still playing in the United States when I was growing up.
Yeah, he was on the New York, New Jersey Cosmos.
The New York Cosmos.
Yeah, I was in New Jersey, and he was like the big name. He was like the Gretzky of soccer when I was very young. So it was like this oh my God, Pele, he's like a god, and then he's in this movie.
He is a god.
That's a thing that happened.
It's
everything true. I was reading about this movie, like there were a lot of this really holds a special place for them. And I think later, as the movie progresses, like the big football match, particularly the second half, I thought was very interesting for knowing very little about soccer in general. But the cast is largely of the team is largely footballers, from what I understand. Like
the cast of the Ally team is 100% footballers.
Yeah.
Like all of the guys on the field are all footballers, including Bobby Moore, who was an English footballer and was the captain of the English team when they won the World Cup, their only World Cup in 1966.
Yeah, there was some guy who in his later years, I forget who it was, but he was saying that this, like, filming this was his treasured memory, and he had like won the World Cup. He's like, no, this is it. Running around with Sylvester Stallone was a dream come true for him.
Well, that guy really's got to get his priorities straight.
No, he had a great. You got to hang out with Pele and Max von Sydow.
This movie is 1981. How the hell does Sylvester Stallone have that much power in 1981 to do what he does in this movie?
Yeah, well,
because there's been like one or two Rockies. Is that?
There's been at least one Rocky.
Yeah,
I think half a Rambo. No, but he had some presence. He was,
he's just strange.
He was somewhat of a star. And in fact, he lost a bunch of weight for this movie because he didn't want to have the build of a boxer. He's still like beefy, but you look at Stallone comparatively, he's a smaller guy.
I think an interesting thing that I noted right into, so when they did the opening scene before they did the credits here, was the escape scene where somebody was trying to escape. The first thing that I noticed, and it's the first thing that I wrote down, is how the fuck does that guy have wire cutters? They're in a prisoner of war camp, and he's got immediately has on hand wire cutters, and the first thing, and it's like, is this Hogan's Heroes?
Right. That was just something that came up with because so much of this movie, not that I know the first thing about being in a POW camp, but a lot of it just felt like camp, we're forced to be here, but we get some food and it's okay. There was no the guards are super oppressive and mean. It was just, no, we got to just hang out and play soccer.
From what I've heard, that's actually what they're like for POW camps, because they're all have to obey the Geneva Convention?
Sure.
Or whatever the one, so the enemy combatants are like, hey, what's up, bro? You're just on the right, you're on the losing side, sucks to be you. Kind of laid back. The wire cutter thing that's actually kind of accurate too. There's a story from World War II that I think is amazing. They send so they let them play Monopoly, and weirdly enough, they sent a Monopoly set that when dissolved in water turned into a sewing kit. So they cut out the sewing kit, then made a Nazi uniform and snuck out of the POW camp using a Monopoly smuggled whatever. Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Well, I've been awake for 2 days, so a lot of these words aren't coming out the way that I want them to.
But later, a guy has a camera that he built. So I think that I didn't think about it at the time, other than that the opening scene. Why is this in the movie? But at the time, I'm like, okay, and he got shot.
Well, it raises the stakes because the one time we see a guy escape, which actually doesn't really do much for the movie. So really, it's setting up for later how it doesn't really.
Whereas normally when people get out, the Nazis are like, well, we tried.
And also very little shooting for a movie set in the Great War.
I agree. There was a lot, and there was a lot of shenanigans, a lot of argy-bargy. There were situations where I was like, this is where people get shot. I've seen Schindler's List.
I know how this goes down.
And swastikas per capita, probably the lowest in a World War II movie.
Yeah.
Not that many broken crosses laying around.
What is the I forget how it. After the shooting.
Then they do a pan over and they're playing volleyball, and I go, oh great, this is gonna be Top Gun, World War II style. This is gonna be great.
Yeah, they're shirtless, wearing jeans.
They were actually.
Yeah.
Right in the very beginning, after the
that's the first thing that happens.
It's the first thing that happens. The Red Cross is coming to drive up to inspect the camp, and the Red Cross are in a Mercedes or a Bugatti or something like that, and I was like, since when did the Red Cross have such nice cars? Red Cross.
Yeah,
it's a corrupt organization.
Yeah, and they're way laid back. They're just like, yeah, sup, bro, everything cool here? We're good. Don't worry about it. Wow, what thorough inspection did you guys perform?
And then there's one Nazi that's showing them around that the whole time I'm just thinking of Tom Cruise in Valkyrie, because he's wearing a white eye patch.
Yeah, that was weird.
That's all I could think of. And that's obviously the movie didn't go well, look, 30 years from now, the crappy movie's gonna come out, so we can't have a white eye patch. But it's all I could think of.
No, but one, why a white eye patch? Because that's really one, an eye patch is distracting.
Yeah.
Two, a white eye patch, doubly distracting. And couldn't you just have a thrown off line of dialogue shrapnel, just something? Why have this?
I think it's just he's just cocky. Maybe that's what you're supposed to take.
I just said that. It's just really. Nazi with an eye patch.
Yeah, it's like Tom Wolfe.
That's your thing. Huh?
A Nazi.
We're gonna do that.
Yeah,
we're gonna do that right now.
I would immediately somehow get spaghetti stains on it if I had a white eye patch. Just a big glob of marinara. I wouldn't have to be anywhere near it.
Well, that's why you don't wear white eye patches.
Yeah.
Especially after labor camp day.
Well, that's the end of that episode. We're going to do better.
Just crack of the bat over the soccer posts. I don't know how this game works. That camp seems pretty laid back, except for the guy escaping, kind of dying. Let's try to get this established. Now, I know a little bit about World War II, but only the stuff that involves the occult Nazis, as we've discussed in previous films. What part of World War II is this supposed to be?
If they're in France, I'm going to say that this is probably 1943, 1942 or 1943.
Okay,
yeah, things aren't.
Well, that's the thing, because they talk to Stallone and they say, you American? And he's like, no, I'm Canadian Special Forces, or whatever the fuck he says. So that means the Americans are in the war already, which means that the Nazis are either very close to or already getting pressed back, and kind of the writings on the wall are hemorrhaging money. Things are going bad for them. Why the fuck are they spending all this money on a soccer match? It's just
propaganda.
I know, but come on, man. You're on the look. I'm just saying we all
Hearts and
know
minds,
the
baby.
wrong side lost, and I'm just seeing all this fiscal irresponsibility happening on. Look, I'm from a German background. I'm a homer.
We had Matt on the show to talk about soccer, and you on the show to talk about white supremacy.
Well, I think
Not white supremacy, the National Socialist Party. Yeah, but it was one of these things that was kind of confusing because like they seem really laid back and not at all concerned that like the war machine that's been going through Germany is dying around them.
Yeah,
I think
it's basically just
footy.
Yeah, hey, there's a war going on, but we're cool where we are.
Yeah, Stallone, Canadian.
Well, see, I wasn't clear about because like later they talk about the American style of football.
there was a time that he tackled somebody and they were complaining about that, and then they but I also got confused about whether or not he was Canadian because he had on his hat. Right at the beginning, he had what looked like a very, very Canadian maple leaf on his hat.
But then at the end of the movie, not to give spoiler alert, but like it says, his name USA at the bottom and a chyron. Well, but they say he's Canadian. So I feel like this entire movie is just throwing me off kilter. I don't even know how to up is down, black is white.
In one of the reviews I read, it referred to Stallone's character as being so interested in being in the war that he joined the Canadian Army before playing, like because Americans weren't involved, and he just wanted to get in there.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, that brings up a good point. Did maybe Canada join the war first? He's a good old American boy, wants to fight the Nazis. So he jumps up into Canada, goes, "Hey, Canada, let me fight the Nazis with you."
But I just don't remember there being anything in the movie that.
But that would actually kind of make me feel a little bit more on ground because it's just the choice to make Stallone a Canadian. There's something really like it just makes me feel awkward. Like Stallone can't be Canadian.
I will say this for him in this movie though,
Great French accent,
enunciates like crazy.
I made a point. Yeah, he's not very Stallone yet. Also handsome bastard. Forgot he used to be good looking.
Yes.
Because he got all meat faced after a little while. He went the Mickey Rourke route,
right?
But yeah, handsome bastard, and enunciated, spoke French.
Yeah,
I'm not like joking that his French was good, but still, he can barely speak English now, and he speaks French. It was bad. What
man at the height of his craft?
Yeah, exactly. The top of his powers. So Michael Caine is the coach of this
Colby.
team. Is he supposed to be an active player?
He was. He played for West Ham.
Yes, that's exactly right. And that was Von Sydow had actually brought that up about enjoying him as a West Ham player, which I thought was also interesting. The German Nazi who pays enough attention in the 40s to English football.
Well, they had a throwaway line that Max von Sydow was a professional player. They said he was on the team in '38 or something like that. They made a throwaway line that Sydow was on the German professional team years ago.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I just took it as he was just like I like the ball.
38. Also, the last time that the German national team actually played the English national team was 1938.
Well, I may have just made that number up.
No, I think
that would make sense.
Right.
I mean,
there was a whole thing about how the Germans had never beaten the English.
Yeah.
And I thought that can't possibly be true. That can't possibly be true. And I looked it up, and it's true.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, so Michael Caine is old? I mean, that's the best thing to put it. Or is it because it's the early 80s, everybody looks old?
Yeah, both. I think in both cases, because actually there was another thing, that same guy that I was referencing earlier that said that this was the most fun he had, one of his favorite football memories. Talked about Michael Caine was like, yeah, he cannot run 20 feet.
Yeah, he said he sucks at kicking and can't run 20 yards or whatever.
But he's charismatic as hell.
But that was the thing, is I couldn't figure out is he just old in this movie? Because every scene of Michael Caine, in very heavy quotes, on the field later, on the pitch, pardon me, is so obviously some other guy playing Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Like his stunt double is, or soccer double, is so
tall.
obviously not him.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, is he just old and can't run? Or is he just like, hey, it's Michael Caine, he doesn't feel like fucking running? It's Michael goddamn Caine.
No, I think Michael Caine is one of the perpetually old.
Yeah, he just had that face.
Michael Caine and Wilford Brimley and
Jean-Luc Picard, whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah, really?
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart?
Nerd.
Oh, I see. Just wait to dunk on me.
Also, B. Arthur.
Yeah. B. Arthur is always, Willem Dafoe,
always
I think, kind of falls in that.
Always been old, never been young, born old.
Just, goblins all. So these people are trapped in a camp, and Colby, Michael Caine, and Max von Sydow have a conversation about we both like football. And Max von Sydow was like, hey, I think Germans are pretty cool. What if we had you guys just let's have a soccer match just for fun, see if we can kick the ass of people that we've been imprisoning and feeding like garbage. And Colby's like, yeah, no, we'd murder you, but we need proper shoes, proper gear, all
we
this
need
stuff.
food and
Proper food.
Yeah, which I always thought was pretty smooth on his
Yeah,
part. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and the food I think that was specifically brought up was eggs and beer.
Yeah, well, he does. Yeah, he's like meat, eggs, vegetables, and some beer. Like he slides that in there, and my son was like, I'm German, so I get that. It's like, yeah, hey, we're Nazis. We know how to have fun. And so they agree to it. And so then it's Colby trying to form this team. And while this is happening, Sylvester Stallone's dude, Hatch, trying to escape. He's got this escape plan he's working on.
He's whatting a plan?
He's working on a plan.
No, Hatch is whatting a plan?
He's creating a plan.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Hatch is hatching a plan.
Oh, I didn't even pick up on that.
Yeah.
This also where that camera that you were talking about came in, which MacGyver.
Yeah.
Incredibly, MacGyver was created out of a lantern and one side of a pair of eyeglasses for the lens.
That is my favorite character. In fact, I love all the British POW, like the higher ups. Like they're having a meeting about like escape plans that people have come up with that week, and they're like, no, that one's no good. That guy just wants to pole vault. That's terrible, because they'll have that like that posh British accent. And the forger who has the camera is just great. I was like, it's my busy season. Everyone's trying to escape right now. And it's just a throwaway line, but I love that. And he's all just cool as a cucumber. This is, again, I'm in a POW camp, but I'm making the best of it. I'm having a good old time.
That all really reminded me of Monty Python and the Meaning of Life, specifically when they were in the Zulu War section.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Right?
Like a tiger.
Like, in Africa?
This is where the question comes in, and I asked this on a lot of episodes. Is Stallone supposed to be likable in this? Because he's an asshole.
He is a little bit of a jerk. It's a weird thing because his story seems so apart from the rest of it for a while, because you have this, here's this gentleman's bet that's going on. Meanwhile, Stallone's trying to escape. Okay, now he's putting together this team. Stallone keeps trying to ingratiate himself very embarrassingly into the team. And it takes a little bit for that to kind of coalesce.
Yeah, well, that's also part of it, because every time he shows up, he's an asshole. Like, his attempts to ingratiate himself onto the soccer team is he just shows up and says shithead things to the coach or the guy that's, in charge of the team. That seems like a real bad way to get on the team.
Well, yeah, it's really...
Maybe I'm overthinking this, but he's just...
No, because during the recruitment thing is you'll see a shot of a guy like do a sweet soccer move, and then Michael Caine will be like, oi, goes to shake his hand and is like, you want to join the team? And the guy will say something pithy like, I'll be the bangers to your mash or whatever. And then Stallone's like immediately behind him with his hand out like, yeah, me too. I'm good. Let me be your friend. And it just made me think of my childhood. So that was, and me being picked last for basketball. There's a few scenes of that.
Oh, so this is also where one of the odder parts of the movie happened. So they're playing football. This is slightly before Max Vince's side-out conversation where they decide to have a team. But they're playing football. That's how they're spending their leisure time. They're making a team. They've already got the team all set up. And then out of nowhere, Pele just starts juggling the ball.
Yeah.
Why was Pele not playing soccer with him earlier? I mean, he's obviously amazing at soccer. Why are you just sitting there watching, bro?
I kind of felt like he was like new in, and I can't remember where he said that he was from.
He said Trinidad, didn't he?
I thought that he did say Trinidad.
Well, he did say like that when he grew up in Trinidad.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I really appreciated the period ball.
Yeah, it looked like a brown medicine ball.
Well, that's what they always looked like until the 1960s when Adidas created the kind of classic black and white kind of
with the octagonal,
which was called the Telstar, and that ball was created specifically to allow easier to view the ball while on television. The Telstar.
Interesting. So it's like the physical version of when they used to highlight the puck in hockey games.
Exactly. Which they had to give up because the pucks are so damn expensive.
So I have a question, because being largely, I know Pele is like soccer, football. Like I have that name associated there. Where was Pele at in his career during this time? Like was he like
1981 was like very, very end, if not the absolute end. He was in the World Cup. His first World Cup was 1958. When it was a different World Cup, like an actual completely different trophy. Where the trophy has now been stolen, has never been recovered.
Really?
Oh, seriously?
That's why they had to replace it with that actual World Cup trophy. He was the youngest player ever, I think. He was the only teenager until this year. He was the only teenager to score in a World Cup final.
Wow. Now, a movie about the stolen World Cup is actually one I would want to watch. Like
I agree.
That's a fascinating story. Much like the apocryphal story that this movie's based on, Two Halftimes in Hell.
Yeah.
It was based on this Hungarian movie called Two Halftimes in Hell, which is sort of based on this other story that the legend of it has grown, where the Nazis had these Hungarians, or I forget if they were Hungarians or Ukrainians, in camp, and they were like, hey, we're going to play a game against you. If you win, we're going to shoot you. If you lose, we'll let you go in Switzerland. Because they loved the game so much and they were so good, they ended up winning and getting murdered. But that didn't actually happen. They played a bunch of games and eventually got sent to camps. But it was kind of like unrelated. But because of particularly the way this movie plays out, that idea of like, no, it's the love of the game. We can't possibly lose it. Wins out over not getting shot.
Yeah, that's dumb. Mm-hmm. Because what's better than soccer is being alive. Yeah. Like the whole it's like, all right, I could kick a ball for like 90 minutes, plus overs, or I could get
not be
shot in the head.
Yeah.
So let me just mull this over a little bit. All right, column A, column B.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write this down.
Well, it's a thing. So without getting too far ahead of ourselves, so Colby and Max von Sydow have this little bet, and then it kind of starts to like get bigger than that, which I liked. That it just seemed like it sort of blossomed out of control more than what these two guys wanted.
Yeah, like his Nazi superiors thought, oh, this is a great idea. This is going to be publicity.
Let's turn it into this thing. Let's have it be in Paris at this huge stadium where Max von Sydow just seemed like he wanted to play at the camp, which seemed like ankle sprain central. That was not a great place to play. But I did kind of like that element of these two guys that the world and the politics around them had kind of gotten bigger. They were trying to connect on a human level, but everything around them got bigger.
Also, it occurs to me around this part where the game starts spiraling out of control, starts getting picked up. They want to play the national team. It's going to be in the blah, blah, blah. Where I realized that I'm very empathetic towards Max von Sydow.
Yeah.
So the most empathetic role I can think of Max von Sydow is when he plays a Nazi.
Yeah.
Which is a very odd career path.
Yeah, well, he certainly has a presence, to be sure. And I think he kind of lends a certain humanity to a character that, like, ostensibly that's his only job, is to be like, want to play some soccer? But he actually, like, fills him out a little bit, unspoken. Like, the way his performance makes him seem like a full human being.
Yeah.
I immediately thought him to be Prussian. To jump ahead to the match just for a hot minute, there was a section where they were playing the German national anthem, and they showed pan to the spot where all of the kind of German, not dignitaries, but all the military dignitaries and whatnot, and there were almost everybody giving the Heil Hitler salute, except for Max von Sydow and a few others. I was like, oh, Prussians, because they were kind of like old school military folk, and back before Hitler, military was completely and totally apolitical.
We're just the military.
We're just the military. We just go out and get stuff done.
See, I wondered, I was thinking about that in terms of when he has that first conversation with Colby, and he ends with giving him a salute. And I was like, do you salute a civilian? And then I just realized I was like one of those IMDb message board guys. I'm like, no, I think it's just respect, and I don't know. I like Max von Sydow in this. Is basically what I'm getting.
I also think that I think Colby's an officer, though, right?
Is he?
I think.
Yeah,
so.
Colby's an officer.
Oh, okay. Okay, no, you're right. Yeah.
So
okay.
No, but saluting the other army seems weird too, right?
Yeah.
No, I disagree. I think that it's a total it's one of those one of those things. Like, this is not a political thing. We're just we just happen to be on opposite sides of this war.
Yeah.
But I'm going to there's a respect that is offered, and there's a respect that is given.
Yeah.
I did like with Colby, where he never responded with a salute back, didn't shake anybody's hand until that one scene where a German officer walks in that he'd played football against. He's like, oh shit, dude, like Gunther, old boy, shakes his hand. I just like that he shows no respect. It's not like he's disrespectful, just never salutes anybody, doesn't shake any of the Nazis' hands until one guy that he played football against, and that guy immediately just hands straight out, handshake. I was like, that was a subtle moment. I like that.
That whole scene where he meets, I believe the guy's name is Miller. The game is starting to get bigger.
The German's name is Miller?
Yeah, it's like almost
Mueller.
like Mueller. Yeah.
Mueller, all right.
Why does that name sound familiar?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But that whole scene totally reads almost like they had a summer together, almost like it was John Travolta and what's her face from Grease, where it's like, you, I remember you from then, like they made out on a beach somewhere.
Yeah.
which is a movie I would totally love to see.
Which is also weird how they escaped at the end, where they flew away in that Corvette.
Yeah, don't give it away yet. We're not there.
Sorry. Also, just apropos of nothing, that other the other European officer is about 85% Paul F. Tompkins. The guy with the beret. He's got a very Paul F. Tompkins face.
Well, are you talking about like in the camp?
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah.
Well, again, like all those like posh British guys were just great, and I liked how they like Stallone's attempts to escape were not thwarted by the Nazis so much as they were thwarted by those guys. They were just like, oh, it wouldn't be prudent if you did that, and like he had this whole plan built out around escaping through the shower when the showers happened, but because the team has started to get together, all the team gets to live in the barracks together and eat and live together. And so they have a special guard detachment watching them, and that throws off Stallone's whole plan. But all the British guys are just like, tough luck, old sport.
Well, I did like his play where they mocked him. It was like, what do you do? Run naked through the German camp?
Yeah.
And there was a certain amount of like, just kind of kinky German thing. It's like, yeah, they probably like that.
Yeah, they're fine with it. Which I did like later. So when because Stallone eventually does try to break out. I forget. He does
the shower plan.
Right, but does he make himself the trainer?
Yeah.
That? Okay.
So he talks Colby into the
masseuse.
And masseuse. Yeah.
Again, super sexy, 100% good times.
Yeah. So he joins. He finally like is when he figures out that the plan's going wrong. He's like, I need to join your squad, but I'm going to be the trainer. I know you don't want me anything to do with it, but you guys need a trainer. American style football, we know bruises and stuff like that. I know how to deal with that. Let me on your team.
Also, during that time, Colby calls it soccer.
Oh,
and
that happens a couple times.
And then Hatch calls it football.
Huh.
Yeah, they fucked that up a couple times. Or I don't know if they fucked up. Maybe they planned it, but it was weird. Yeah.
Actually, I kind of feel like it was this whole, I think it was kind of a Colby fuck you. Like, I'm just going to call it soccer because you're clearly ignorant.
I'm going to talk down to you.
Yes, yeah. I'm going to talk down to you. And then Hatch was trying to say like, no. Here's my, not my papers. Oh, that's probably my bona fides.
Yeah, bona fides.
Yeah.
I just here's the one thing I know about football / soccer. Soccer, originally, that's what the English called it. That was not an American thing. Originally, England called it soccer. And then it swapped, and now we get made fun of because we call it like the dumb American thing. It's like, that used to be your fucking name for it, assholes.
Yeah,
because it was like association football, so they called it soccer, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it was like an amalgamation. It was kind of like a contraction of a significantly longer description.
Like a clumsy portmanteau or something?
Well, it's a beautiful portmanteau. It's just, just because it's fucking Americans say it.
Portmanteau.
Oh, I'm sorry. So Stallone gets in there, and Colby, Michael Caine just has not wanted anything to do with him at all. Then he's like, I'm going to be your trainer. And he's like, yeah, fine, whatever. Which seems more like just sort of swatting away a nuisance than it being actually wanted him there.
Stallone explains to him, he's like, look, man, the guards switched. I need to be in this thing so I can escape.
Yeah.
And then Michael Caine's like, well, dude, I don't want you to get shot, because I let you in here. And then Stallone says, no, really, I want to do it. So like, it's my decision. And Michael Caine goes, nope, yep, that eases my conscience. Yep, sure.
Yeah, why not?
Now, if you die, it's totally cool. Please.
Oh no, I thought Sly was totally convincing. He could train. He's talking about calisthenics.
Yeah.
And he would be doing you could get the thing, and he would be doing the massage. He talked specifically about massage, which I'm really, really disappointed that there was no massage.
Not a massage montage.
There was no massage. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Very disappointed about that.
But I like when they're getting all the gear out, how he's got the the sweater, like it's like the club sweater, something like tied around his shoulders, and he's yelling at everyone about blisters.
Yeah.
That scene
you could do anything that you want. You could like break your leg.
Anal leakage, I think he says.
Yeah. Appendicitis.
There's appendicitis. Yeah. There's a lot of different things.
Blisters.
Just don't get any blisters. Pro tip, by the way, for blisters. This is what I used to do when I was a kid. You put a bar of soap in your sock, in your football sock and whatnot. You rub the bar of soap around, take the bar of soap out, put your foot in, and then your foot slides around and it doesn't have any friction, so you don't get blisters.
Oh, I did not.
Which I'm surprised. Well, if Sly was actually a real trainer, he probably would have figured that one out.
Yeah, I did not know that. Usually what I used to do is put a bar of soap into a sock and then beat on Vincent D'Onofrio until he shot my drill sergeant, and then I got to go home early. They called it, you automatically get an A for the season.
Yeah, I think,
semester.
An 8. Don't you mean an 8?
Yes.
Yeah, section 8.
Section 8.
Yeah, what I did was, didn't go outside, and just got very fat and watched a lot of TV. So that was my way of avoiding blisters. It was 100%.
I sat at home eating soap.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste what it smells like.
100%.
Yeah. So then he actually gets to Stallone gets to do his escape, which was leaving through the showers. And what I like about that is the scene where it's Michael Caine, and Michael Caine's just being a distraction for the guards, and so he's asking for a smoke. So in theory, it's like him naked, just hanging out with the guards, and no one's acting like that's weird. Like he's just hanging out, chatting with them. And then when Stallone escapes, he's like shirtless but wearing pants in the shower.
Which I was glad of, because I did want to see Stallone's ass again.
Yeah.
I've seen enough of that in my life.
That would be, yeah.
You know what I'm really surprised about with the shower scene? No shower shoes.
Oh, wait,
All those guys are going to get foot fungus.
Was that invented then? Or was that
shower
like
shoe?
Yeah,
Like
was that like a
flip-flops?
space age technology? Was meningitis not invented until the
Flip-flops have
50s?
to be meningitis wasn't.
That's what I've decided. That's how I explained that away.
No, it's true. It's like gay people didn't happen until the 70s.
No,
Right,
no, I think
John Waters invented it.
Yeah, John Waters invented gay
No,
people.
foot fungus has been around for a really long time, and then also I think that the reason why Stallone had pants on, ringworm,
Oh,
also a scourge of like training things and whatnot. I don't know. No,
I mean, if there's one
neither
thing-
of you guys have ever been into a high school gym. So.
no, yeah, you're talking
Or like weightlifting.
yeah.
Not since the restraining order.
Excuse me, I own a copy of Wii Sports. I think I know a little something about exercise.
Oh, like golden showers?
Yes, that's when you get a gold medal for showering.
I do want to say after this particular section, after the shower section, we got to the training montage. The end of the training montage was not quite the coup de grace, it's just the coup. It was foreshadowing the bicycle kick.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
yeah. You get a
Which
taste.
is the legacy, I think, the greatest legacy of Pele as a
Yeah, that was his
footballer.
famous thing,
I was
right?
going to
that is-
ask if that was his jam, because
I
that
believe
the
that
movie makes
like,
it seem like it.
the bicycle kick, or like the overhead kick, completely and totally connected to Pele as somebody who, I think he was the first one who actually, I don't actually know this. Maybe somebody will figure it out and they'll chime in, because so many football fans listen to this podcast.
We're the number one.
It's that I think that he's the first one to do it in competition.
I know he's famous
In
for it,
actual
or
football competition.
I knew
so-
that he did that move, which means he's famous for it. Because
Right.
I mean,
Exactly.
it's shocking for me to know a sport fact, let alone a particular move of a particular player of a sport that I think I know at least 30% of the rules of.
But regardless of the situation, the bicycle kick is amazing.
Oh, it looks
it's
badass.
awesome.
Yeah.
One of the greatest things. It's the like basketball dunk from the free throw line, or the Hail Mary of football, or like American football, or the goalkeeper from hockey scoring goal, or anything that is almost inexplicable.
Well, so funnily enough that you mentioned
I read that too.
the goalkeeper scoring the score, is that Stallone very much was like, hey, yo, I'm the star, I should score the winning goal. And like everyone that was European on that set went, no, you're the goalkeeper. You're not going to be scoring a goal.
That was actually a thing.
That was a thing. Yeah, he was like, no, I should tell you that. Which is the thing I love about Hollywood stars, because I guess
what a fucking asshole.
Yeah, like again, going back to Grease, John Travolta, I forget what song he sings in Grease, but the only reason he sings it is because Olivia Newton-John got a song. And he's like, she gets a song, I should get a
Stranded at
song.
the drive-in.
Yeah, sure.
It should be, because that is the kind of douchebag that song is the perfect douchebag song for John Travolta.
Yeah, because he was like, I need my own song. And so like I like this where he's like, no, people want to go to this movie to see me kick a ball into a net.
Well, that's why they wrote the ending as it is. Like the penalty shot ending was
The compromise.
Because, but anyway, I love on IMDb, they make a point of, well, in the future, now in modern soccer, sometimes if they need a last goal in the last minute, sometimes the goalkeeper will come in to like a corner kick, run across the entire field so that they have an extra body. And a goalkeeper has actually scored a goal. And like, thank you, IMDb. That helped me understand this movie so much better.
That happened not even at the last minute. That's definitely happened before. As a matter of fact, 2 weeks ago, or actually a week ago, Tuesday, I was playing futsal, which is kind of like indoor soccer but without boards, and I got scored on as the goalkeeper by a goalkeeper. Oh. It's a lot smaller of a venue, but
we'll edit this out because that's shameful.
But it was actually, but it was spectacularly embarrassing.
I mean, if I do that,
I complained about it afterwards. And
Yeah,
everybody's
I
like,
would.
All my teammates are like, no, that's it. And I was like, what about this? And they're like, no, that happened too. Fuck.
I wouldn't have you in my apartment if I'd known this.
Yeah,
I mean,
this
I'm disgusted
Shut
by
it
your
down.
goalkeeping ability.
Let's watch Fifth Element again.
Hey, man, these are things that, I only did it so that I had stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Dude, Stallone's a better
good
keeper.
podcast fodder
I'm
later.
embarrassed.
Exactly.
Which I forgot. So that training montage, because that's actually before Stallone leaves, that's when we learn that Stallone's actually a decent goalie. That's where we learn that he's a goalie. And he delivers a great line about it where he goes, hey, you got feet, I got hands.
It's true.
That is my favorite. Oh, yes, of course.
No, he's garbage. Every single shot that came even remotely close to anything within his arm span is stuff that he saved. There were a bunch of goals that were anywhere. He never dove.
Yeah.
He never did anything even remarkably goaltender like.
You'd love to know that when Stallone was training to be a goalie in this, they brought in a really good goaltender to teach him how to do it, and he didn't listen, and then took a dive and dislocated his shoulder and broke a rib because the asshole didn't pay attention.
Really?
Yep. That was his first try doing a diving save, and then he's like, all right, I'll pay attention to you. He literally dislocated his shoulder, broke. England's World Cup winning goalkeeper Gordon Banks.
Oh.
He's a World Cup winning goalkeeper. So that's probably someone you should probably pay attention to.
Right after the montage, which I thought was a pivotal point, is enter the Eastern Europeans.
Yes,
that was depressing. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in either.
No, because I was going to say the exact same thing because I learned a lot. I don't know if this is true or not, but where Max von Sydow is we don't treat Eastern Europeans as people. They're not POWs.
There's no such thing as their country.
Yeah.
They are not people, period. I think that he actually said they are not people.
Yeah, that was the thing that the whole thing's fairly breezy. But then you get to that point.
Like Colonel Klink kind of Nazis,
But then you get to that point and it's like, oh my God.
By the way, we're Nazis.
Yeah, BT dub.
Yeah, it was like a breezy, fun movie.
In case you forgot.
They show up, but the worst part is where that one dude's looking up over a bowl of soup with just soulless eyes, putting soup in his
just
mouth,
shaking.
He could not.
Whoa, this movie changed tone quick.
Yes, exactly. He could not. It pivoted really fast.
Yeah.
He didn't even have. I had 2 weeks to eat. Is a note that I put. And also, this is the part where Michael Caine wants to win. He wants to win this match.
Yeah.
And he was looking at these guys. It's like, there's no way that these guys are going to help me win.
I need to do the morally right thing.
Yes. Yeah. He ends up doing the morally right thing, where it's like it's more important for these guys to be here so we don't send them back to the camps. And then magically 45 seconds later, boom, they're out on the pitch.
They're
on the pitch.
It's what it is the love of the game. That just gives them power. It's like a Nike ad.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
One of my favorite spots of the film, Stallone escapes. They cut back to the POW camp, and there's just no reprisals. And but then they wait a while. It's like the next day, and they've got a plastic head, and they all start laughing at the Nazis because there's a plaster head that they had hit. But that plaster head was painted to look so close to Stallone, I could not stop giggling.
Yeah.
It was such a fucking Stallone fucking plastic head. I've never been happier in my life. I've really, really severe depression issues, and my life is empty.
That's all I have. Is Stallone.
Don't take this away. Don't take this away from me, Matt.
I laughed out loud. On the plane at this, and then immediately thought, why aren't Nazis shooting people?
Yeah, it was.
This is something that you should get shot for.
Yeah, that they're
if this were any other World War II POW.
Yeah.
This, which also kind of plays into the whole Horgan's Heroes thing. I think.
It just totally felt like the Nazis were just like, Mondays, right?
Yeah,
seriously.
And then right after that is this scene. It's kind of like an evening scene, and it's inside the barracks. And then Pele inexplicably starts playing the harmonica, not just the harmonica, basically the air harmonica.
It was like the James Caan Phantom Punch from Godfather. Like it's just so far away.
It was real far away. It was pretty amazing.
Actor or sports people becoming actors, there's a long history of that being terrible. O.J. Simpson, for example. But boy, Pele just sounds like someone woke him up and then dubbed his lines, and then he went back to sleep because he's always just like, Coach, okay, this.
Oh, he has zero
this
lines.
is what
in this
I do.
movie.
Yeah, and then
he's literally there to play football.
Yeah, but he's always overdubbed.
His best. I'm gonna be nice to him and say his best monologue is where he goes up to the chalkboard and goes, "No, what we do is I start here and I go to here and I go down here and I go down here and then I kick the ball and then it's goal and that's how we play."
Yeah.
Thanks, Pele. That was really helpful. Thanks for drawing a sine wave in the middle of your coach's meeting. That fucker should have been benched. How dare you interrupt Michael Caine while he's talking?
He's the fucking bullshit Poe Dameron of this team.
Exactly. Yes, Pele is the Poe Dameron of the POW camp soccer squad.
But that's wrong because Pele ends up doing something, whereas Poe does not.
Bullshit. He ends up doing something. Yeah, he ends up getting him a tie.
Hey,
Tie goes to the runner in soccer.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler to 10 minutes from now when we get to that scene.
Also, I think the perfect ending to a football movie for Americans is like, what the fuck? Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Like, serious? That's what we're going to celebrate.
Yeah.
We're going to celebrate a fucking tie.
Yeah.
This movie is the reason why football is not more popular in the United States. This movie, because fucking ties.
Well, yeah,
Fuck you guys.
I thought about that.
Sylvester Stallone was right. Anyway, so the point I kind of wanted to make about the whole Stallone escape project, how the fuck does that guy have fucking wire cutters?
Wait, he got wire cutters too. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like the beginning of the movie, and I understand that they're like, we're talking about blocks of time, so there's days that have gone by, but seriously, aren't they going and like ransacking these motherfuckers for all of their contraband and finding some fucking wire cutters? Nope. Sly keistered that fucking thing.
Well, no, what I was saying before about the whole, the weird smuggled Monopoly set that turns into a tailor's kit. Yeah, I get that can happen. But yeah, motherfucker just got shot with some wire cutters. You're not going to have ordered another pair. Like, they don't have Heimlich or Schlemmer yet. Oh, maybe they do.
Now I'm just imagining that all this stuff came out of Stallone's butt. like the Monopoly board.
The ball, Pele.
Also, in this escape, I originally thought, I was like, this is awesome. Sly's going to do the whole like undercarriage. I'm going to like slide into the undercarriage and I'm going to do like some like, Mission Impossible type of shit or some speed shit or whatever, where you're just like
slide out from under the car.
Yeah, Silent Bob.
Robert De Niro and
you're going to do one of those things.
I said Silent Bob.
No, he's on just like the curving. Nobody saw him. He's just like on the side, just like wide open. He may as well have been holding on to holding somebody's
This is
hand
my stop,
inside.
Guys.
It's
I thought that was pretty smooth.
No, it's I don't.
Nazis don't look in their rearview mirrors.
guess.
They only look ahead at the future.
Or side view.
Or side view. Yeah.
I mean, he was like close enough.
was
you could
right
see
there.
him, depending on where you were in the side view mirror, you could definitely have seen him.
Well, probably what it was like, did you hear something? Well, it couldn't be the car because our fine German engineering.
Well, it was the chick was the one in the side view. Wasn't it there was a woman
Yes, there was.
who was in
There's
the
a
passenger
Fräulein.
seat.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
So
right. Yeah.
So maybe the driver was checking out her Fräulein.
Yeah, that was probably it.
What you're missing here is that this actually is a really deep metaphor towards the myopic vision of the Nazi Party, and that's why they lost.
Damn.
Looking directly down the gun of Russia, they didn't see America sneaking up its rear.
That's perfect.
Oof.
I called Sideshow Bob Silent Bob twice.
Yeah.
I literally have never been more embarrassed in my life.
Yeah.
I just want to quickly point out my Instagram handle is at LugJunkie, LUGJUNKIE. I'm going to put up a poll when this comes out. Who should be more upset about Alex's fuck up? Kelsey Grammer or Kevin Smith?
I would say Kelsey Grammer because like you're raising
Kevin
up
Smith.
Kevin Smith.
Look, don't pollute the audience.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Just get out of here.
Vote with your heart.
Yes, vote with your heart.
Also,
listen to it.
It's only what I said,
Think about
everybody.
it.
Also, don't invent the audience. No one's going to vote. You fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Okay,
the
I'm
audience.
very
How
excited.
are you voting, man?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's ask the audience.
can you
This is exactly what we're gonna. This
Can
is
you talk to
exactly what we're
Forrest
gonna
for
find
us?
out. We're gonna
Because then
find
we're
out.
covered.
I know that you guys have talked about what your audience, but this is what we're gonna find out. I think that this is a pivotal thing. We're gonna find out. How big your audience is.
We're gonna separate the mats from the forest from the bill.
Exactly.
Moving along, we're going to
God.
go straight to the escape, and he escapes to Paris. I assume. Mm-hmm. I think so.
No, it's Paris. Yeah. Well
He
established.
escapes to Paris and enter the exotic love interest.
Yeah, that was
God
a
bless
weird.
her. She was so darkly French, and then Sly. He was like He was making moves. She immediately, not immediately, but she goes and she just randomly picks up a child.
Yeah.
And I wrote, oh shit, she's a MILF.
I'm just imagining her just being like, just so not wanting to deal with him that he's like, this is my husband, and pulls out a baby. Like, just that's a baby. No, he's my husband. Please leave. But the French Lou Reed and the Resistance, yeah, they're all like, you're nuts. We can't help you. We can't help you. Oh, there's sewers under the game. We can go under the sewers. Oh, that place. We can totally help you out.
It's true, though, because no one would ever think of, like some kind of like catacomb system under Paris. I mean, that would never occur to anybody.
Comes up.
Not like tourist boards, not hundreds of years of history, not the Romans, not those people that made a theater under there recently. No one ever occurred to there be catacombs and sewers under Paris. You fucking assholes. But then, we need to sneak you back in, so you give him the plan. Now, let me go back to Mr. Matt here. Motherfuckers could get wire cutters. You can send a fucking letter back in and code that shit. You don't need to send Stallone back in.
Well, also the fact that Stallone gets back in, and it's not like, all right, well, you're back in. Hope you enjoy solitary, because you're going to be punished for escaping. It's just like, all right, you're back. Well, you're in bunk 6. Tony got your bunk 5. So
No, they put him in solitary for a while. And then Michael Caine talks him out of it.
Okay.
He was in solitary. He had his shirt off and he was sweating heavily.
Oh, okay.
Which
I'm 100%
was kind of Rambo-esque.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I'm 100% sure that Stallone requested that scene.
I guess First Blood.
First Blood, yes. I'm glad for that, because there would be a barrage of nerds that don't listen to the show writing in.
So they're like, we're going to guard you a lot closer now. Are you serious? Like, aiding and abetting a prisoner to escape from a Nazi war camp, and that's what you get.
Yeah.
That's what you get. You get closely guarded.
No, it's like sleepaway camp.
That was White Patch face guy.
Yeah, Tom Cruise and Valkyrie.
We're gonna watch.
Yeah, which you'd think they'd be like, okay, we're calling this off. Like, this is we're done. Like, you've abused this thing. Like, we're going to abuse you now. But no, it's just like, hey, watch it.
Or,
watch yourself, counselor.
Maybe some torture. I mean, I know the Nazis are, notorious for being really swell fellas.
Yeah, but these were some reasonable ass Nazis. So, he's putting. Why did I miss that he was in solitary confinement?
Yeah, he was in solitary. Michael Caine has to talk him out of it. Like, hey, he's my goalkeeper.
Oh, right, because he needs to miss the goalkeeper.
This is where the arm thing happened.
Like, I just must have missed that thing that they're like, no, he's not going to Paris with you.
No, he was in a little outhouse across the
Right.
Well, that was the thing. They sent him back. He calls football soccer. In agreeing to go back. And then that was the next one. He was in solitary confinement. That's when Michael Caine was like, oh, so-and-so, who is an actual like footballer, goalkeeper. It's like he has a broken arm.
Oh, that was brutal. Because he tells the Nazis that he's got a broken arm, and then like he has to go back like, hey.
Yeah. Derek, you're not going to like this, but... I'm gonna have to stomp on your arm till the steps.
But that guy immediately is like, well, just try to make it a clean break.
Well, and
I say, way to take one for the team.
Yeah.
Not only that, but he was like, that was it.
Yeah.
It's like
tough.
Because these
English
are things that you have to do, because you don't want to raise any suspicions by screaming. Like, absolutely screaming in abject, like, horrific terror.
Well, they put his arm between two slats in a bed, and Michael Caine just kicks it.
Yeah, it was really
and it's not like it was a very well done scene, because it wasn't too. It didn't draw it out. It didn't make it like super gross.
Yeah, it wasn't curb stomp from American History X.
But it was effective, and like you just like
incredibly.
Yeah, it was good, but without being too like gross about it. It didn't really spend a lot of time with it.
Oof, and then
there's a drawing of you vomiting.
I wrote in quotes, ouchie, broken arm.
Yes.
I did the old, I put my hand in front of my eyes while watching, because I'm like, I know they won't show this, but I want to make sure I don't see it, just in case they do.
My note was, ooh, arm break, top 10 anime betrayals.
The next section after this is one of the things that I laughed about most, because it was inside the dressing room when they were in Paris.
Oh, yeah, before they get to Paris to play the big match.
They go out to Paris for the big match. And then enter Nazi we've never seen before. And that's fucking Vladimir Putin.
Yes, it's absolutely. Yeah, he totally looks like Vladimir Putin.
100%
yes,
Vladimir Putin.
I have that down as well.
Did you?
Yeah.
I looked at him and it's like, holy shit, apparently Putin is a Nazi.
because you have this Nazi that's looking at the locker room at the stadium.
Very, very concerned about being the home team.
It was just like, well, who was here before? Like in this radio stadium, was this the home team or the visitors? And they end up making the Nazis the home team because politically they're trying to decide whether in France, whether it should be them as the home team or the Allies. Fortunately for our heroes, they make it the visitors. So it's the Allies.
Because that is the one that the tunnel runs up under so they can have their escape. And this is where we find out also they bought the ref.
Yes, the Nazis.
What a bunch of Nazis.
Yeah.
I mean, not to Godwin this thread, but what a bunch of Nazis.
Yeah.
They bought that ref.
Yeah.
This is an unfair match.
Yeah. So, and Max von Sydow, not happy about it. Because he's like, look, hey, we're trying to have a decent game here. Like, this is why I did this. I'm the only reasonable Nazi.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I gave you my word. And then the other guy's like, dude, you notice we're Nazis?
Yeah.
Like, have you picked up on this? Like we literally, we're Nazi. We're like the worst things ever.
Yeah.
Of course we're going to do this.
If you think this is bad, oh, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, you should wait until fucking Reddit.
And I really liked, so the game is starting, and I really liked the national anthem scene for some reason. So they're playing like the Nazi anthem, and it's just a shot of people in the audience, whatever. But at one point, there's a shot, it pulls back, and it's just, the sound design is such so that it sounds like you are like in the distance looking at it. The music sounds kind of far away, like you're actually in a stadium. And it made all this like so small that I really liked it. Like, this is just a soccer game. This is meaningless ultimately. There's still this whole world out here. And it was this kind of interesting little like pullback from all of it.
Yeah, especially the way they did the marching band in, and then like the marching band comes to face dead camera straight. Yeah, and that's when they cut into Deutsche über alles, like the Nazi theme.
So I have a question. So by the time the game goes on, and the first half of the game is not that interesting, mainly because the Allies are just getting stomped. And what little I know about football is that it's generally a low-scoring game. As far as American football, we like 47 or whatever.
Sure, there's opportunities for low-scoring matches. Yeah.
3-0 seems like a drubbing. Like seems like they're just mopping the floor with them. There's the call in the 10-run rule.
3-0 in the first half is an absolute drubbing. However, recent history, if you're a football follower, 3-0 is not an insurmountable lead.
I was surprised by that, and I didn't know if that was just we need to do this for more American audiences that maybe don't know soccer as much. But sure. I must be wrong about that. But just that seemed that 3-0 lead just seemed like, well, you're never coming back. And I do like when they go to the halftime. There's some player there's got messed up. When they go and is like in the locker room, and when they go, they're like, Michael Caine is just like, no, it's going terrible, but we scored a goal. That's still that positive aspect to it.
Well, and them catching up with that fucking sieve and goal. Like, Stallone sucks that first half. I mean, he's not making any kind of saves.
Yeah.
He's terrible.
Yeah, he's awful. But I mean, he's awful even in the context of the movie. Because in the movie, they make it out like he's a good goalie in the second half. But that first one, like, he's trying to tackle people.
Right.
Like, well, dude, we've established this. Your character already had your arc in which you discover that's not how you play this game.
Yeah.
And curses at you and your arrogance.
Well, it kind of makes you wonder, like, how this movie would have gone without that star hubris. Much the same way that people kind of complained that Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut, that, like, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman really, they were a power couple at the time, and they really tried to steer the way this went. And we've talked about Stallone being like, no, I need to, score the final goal. How much like his being like, well, I can't be seen doing that. Or, you know what I mean? Like, where that character arc would have gone.
I bet you it was all Pele's fault.
Probably.
They didn't stop the poor English guy's arm. Realistically, they probably would have won that match.
Yeah, well, he was an actual footballer.
So in the break, they go into their little halftime thing. They go, and the tunnelers have caught up with them. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, have you noticed that this movie is about 2 bars away from entering into the Great Escape music?
Oh yeah, well it's Bill Conti, who's also like talking about Big Boy season, like he's like a huge composer for the time. Yeah, it seemed very much to be like, okay, we need it to be the Great Escape, but like not.
Yeah, it's
we
like
need the SoundCloud rapper version of Great Escape.
So they're in their halftime. The guys tunnel in and have break through their little sitting pool or whatever,
which really like that. Yeah,
that looked cool as hell.
It wasn't like super stylish, but it's just like the way it's just a shot of a still shot of the pool, and you hear this it's I guess it's like supposed to be like a hot tub or something for them. You hear like the pounding, and finally when it breaks through and the water starts pouring out, it's just super pretty. It just looks really, really cool. It wasn't shot very stylistically, but just the effect of water
No, it looks
just
nice,
all of a sudden draining out.
And then they had that comical ladder come through, which I'm always a big fan of.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
have
just-
a Frenchman climb a ladder around me, and I am pleased.
Yeah, don't wait for it to drain. Just immediately get up there. But they climb up there, and I like how like no one else in the squad had any idea they were escaping. Like it's just like, oh, I didn't tell you this. You didn't get my email. BT Dubs, we getting out of here. And everyone's not happy about that.
That's
Everyone's
what.
like,
No, but did they know they were escaping?
No.
Or is
No,
it-
yeah.
Okay, they didn't.
Agreed. I
Yeah.
do not think they knew they were escaping,
that's-
and I think that it's all loose lips sink ships.
yeah, I think
that-
that's exactly
But that's okay. That makes their shitty decision even more fucking boggling because you find out at halftime of a game you're losing. You're down 3-0.
Yeah.
Or 3-1, whatever.
3-1, they got a goal.
Yeah, you're down 3-1 at halftime. You're a POW, and then somebody pops up to the fucking floor and goes, "Oh, by the way, you want to escape?" Of course I do.
Yeah.
Like, maybe if you had time to think about it, like you've been thinking about escaping for 2 weeks now, and you really have like time to like weigh the ramifications and saying, the geopolitical, weight of us winning this game against Germany actually may be more useful than having a few POWs escape. Maybe on like a week's reflection and like
Yeah.
really digging down deep in your soul. Not, oh my God, the savior just came through the bottom of the
Yeah.
pool. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, like right now, if a thing like popped up in the floor and was like, "Look, you said Silent Bob when you said Sideshow Bob," you would be like, "Yeah, no, I'll take this. I don't need to finish this podcast. I will take this exit."
Yeah, but you said something wrong in the Nightbreed episode.
Yeah, I'm sure I did, but I'm just saying that like I would take an out.
Yeah.
Any I'm assuming by this point the Jesse Owens shit has happened. Hitler got stomped at the Olympics. You don't need to play the soccer game. Like just leave. Everybody leave.
Yeah, I don't know what year that happened. I don't really
That was
know.
1936.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I thought that was a while before this. Yeah.
Like it's like look at how effective that was. Winning this game doesn't mean anything.
No, I think the whole thing though, you got a bunch of guys who don't speak French, and then they're going to pop out of a fucking sewer in Nazi-occupied Paris.
Look, if I may reference the classic documentary Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, he pops out of a sewer in Venice, and that's fine. And everyone's fine with it. He interrupts some people's dinners or lunches or whatever, which is a little gauche. But
you're down.
Yeah,
you're
but can
saying-
you imagine if 18 people popped out of that? That's
it gets
modern
funnier
football.
and funnier, and people will appreciate that.
That's like a
Yeah,
clown.
it's
car.
like it's like Austin
like a
Powers.
clown
It's like, oh, he's peeing, and that's not funny. He's still peeing. That's like people are still coming out of this hole. Oh, all right.
Exactly, and it's France. They love the whole Jerry Lewis.
Yeah.
They don't actually understand what comedy is.
Right.
They'd be
Plus, they've all read Victor Hugo, and so they're all into people from the gutter.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's their favorite part of the music.
Don't say fancy literature stuff on this show.
Yeah, this is a Harry Potter only.
Yes, we talk about Harry Potter. We make weird comments about how attractive people are.
I thought Victor Hugo was part of Slytherin.
Fair enough. You're back off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
5 points to Hufflepuff. So this is the big this is the big thing of, hey, we think we can win this game, which again really dumb because your best guy's injured, and they go, no, let's go back and try to win the game.
Yeah, like that's
I mean I get it for the movie, but like this is where that whole suspension of disbelief leaves for me. Of just, are you fucking kidding me? How if I was in Stallone's position originally, I would go, fuck no, I'm not going back to that goddamn camp.
Yeah.
I've already changed my plans to go to fucking Paris instead of wherever the hell he was going to.
I think in most sports movies, if instead of a rousing halftime speech, a guy popped up in the floor of the locker room and was like, "You guys want to get out of here?" Most people will be like, "Yeah, that Miracle on Ice, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like we are getting hosed. I just want out."
Hey Rudy, you want to just go to the DQ instead?
Yeah, might not be heroic, but absolutely relatable.
Yeah.
It's like,
to us.
yeah, run away from your problems,
Yeah.
everybody.
Old Sporto on the other end of the table here might be into it.
Also, this is the point where Pele actually says words again.
Oh yeah, which someone should. Why did they allow that?
Pele is the one who convinces them to
This is
stay and play football, which makes sense because that's all he cares about.
That's true.
So Pele's injured. And let's just plow through the fact that somehow
Can we
decide
pop back at the Pele injury where he does this whole he gets injured and then the music is a bum bum bum.
Yeah.
Super ominous.
Also, he's injured by a guy sort of putting his hand near his chest. But though it is soccer where
He barged into him.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Also, I just want to point out, and I just jump back a little bit. That was definitely not a penalty. in the first half.
Well, because they bought the ref.
And it was very poor. It was a poor call.
It was.
For somebody who was bought. You can't just be that. You can't be that blatant about it. Come on.
Again, WWE rules. You have to at least pretend you didn't see it. So,
I'm going.
So the teams re-rallied. We're going outside. We're like, let's beat these Nazis because God forbid we escape and go back to our loved ones. Pele is out there walking around. He's holding his ribs, WWE style. I'm injured, and he scores a goal after doing his famous scissor kick. So he lands on his ribs. Now what happens next?
Bicycle kick. Bicycle.
Oh, what did I say?
Scissor kick.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, bicycle kick.
Totally
well, I mean,
yeah, that's high jump.
It's very impressive too because I don't know how you play soccer without using your arms. I just kept thinking about that. Like he was like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yeah, you use your legs."
Well, he was holding his rib.
Yeah, I'm sure it's uncomfortable, but
no. But what I'm saying is, so he does his famous.
Trying to run around, he's like arm and rib and shoulder and whatnot.
Sack it up.
He does it.
I was on my 8th grade football team for 2 weeks before I hurt my knee, so I think I know something about the human body.
So he lands on his side as you do when you do one of them kicks.
Yes.
And they score.
Yeah.
What happens next?
They tie.
No, they dogpile the guy with broken ribs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The entire team goes, "Hey, that guy that just sacrificed his body to make that shot.
Yeah.
Let's dive on top of him." Compounding all. He could have punctured a lung. That is some bad fucking thinking.
I will say though, like that second half of the game, that was put together very tightly, and it was very exciting. I very much enjoyed watching that. It was like a great highlight reel of
the football parts were well done. I was just so annoyed that they went back and played it just on a fundamental I'm a coward level.
Right. Yeah.
The whole thing, like the bicycle kick, the refrain, the like back and back, and back, and it's like closer and closer, and the kick, and then right after that, Max like straight up. Yes.
Yeah.
We're down to the end of this game here, and this dirty ref calls a penalty shot.
Ugh, what a fucking dive too.
Yeah. Just bullshit.
Like full on Jurgen Klinsmann dive. I'm going to trash Jurgen Klinsmann on this. I hope you're listening to this podcast.
This has been such a pro Jurgen podcast up to this point.
Yeah, I was going to say the last 30 episodes, I can't think of a single episode we haven't brought up that guy. So we're down to it. This is it. This is the climactic finale that Stallone demanded.
Because demanded to be written into the movie.
And he walks up to the guy that's going to take the penalty kick.
Which happens.
And he stares him down.
Yeah. Which also happens. It's
a
mind game. Real thing.
Yeah. He sucks at goal.
Yeah.
So that whole concept of staring down the best guy from Germany at soccer seems a little. It'd be like, all right, so let's say LeBron James is in here and I walk up and give him a real hard stare. You know that hard stare I give sometimes, March? Yeah. A real hard stare. And he would just go, this is very dumb. But I wish I'm incredible at soccer. Why would he even look? But the German guy plays it off like, oh, I'm a little, he got in my head.
Got in my head, yeah.
No, he didn't. He sucks. He let in fucking 3 goals in the first 45.
I wish,
including a penalty goal.
Yeah, exactly.
He had already scored.
He's proven he's not good at this.
I think, was it Michael Caine? Michael Caine gives him the nod. Like they look over there and there was the nod like, you can do it.
Use the force. Yeah.
Yes, you can do it.
And,
use the hands, Luke.
And this German player, being very savvy, what he does is
kicks the ball.
Kicks it within arm's reach of Stallone. Because that's the way you score goals. And Stallone just kind of did this a little bit, like kind of not even dove, stretched lightly to his side and caught the ball, and they tie.
The goaltender never makes a save. Only the shooter makes a mistake. That was it.
Yeah.
It's like, you're never supposed to save a penalty ever, period.
Like, I'm pretty sure he could have kicked
all on the shooter.
Yeah. He could have
that guy, and speaking of shooters, that guy probably got shot.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably true.
Yeah. Now it's depressing.
Yeah.
It ends the exact same way as Ladybugs.
Yeah. Nazis assassinated someone at the end of Ladybugs?
Yeah.
So on top of this, so after this happens, the game's over, and then the French, they storm the pitch.
Yeah.
Right. Like they won the fucking World Cup, like they actually won the World Cup.
And again, like,
less than a month ago, they actually won the World Cup.
But you brought this up, like how the Nazis are just like terrified. Like, I feel like mayhem would have happened.
No,
I feel like shots would have been fired.
I just put Nazis with guns. Helpless.
Yeah, it's like
they don't know what to do.
These are just for show. They're actually made of chocolate.
On all of these people, they're like storming, and then the players, and then all the players are just kind of mixing with the people, and they're just funneling them out.
Yeah.
And then it pans back to Max von Sydow just grinning.
Just like, yeah, it's all right.
As he watches prisoners escape.
Yeah.
Did they escape? Because I think, okay, I'm not saying I got the wrong cut, but I watched the end of the movie and I didn't see them escape in the first one. Maybe I got distracted and started doing something on my phone.
Basically, like it's implied because they're getting covered up.
Exactly.
Like the crowd is like giving them their coats, or whatever, so you can't see that they're wearing the football gear.
Okay.
And then it just basically just ends with a weird like wash to blue. And then it's like Sylvester Stallone, USA.
That's the movie. We watched it.
Yeah.
Called Victory some places.
Yeah. And Escape to Victory other places.
Escape to Victory, which doesn't really make sense as a title.
Yeah, that was the other thing that I kind of like jumped into was the Escape to Victory, because that's how I remember it, is Escape to Victory.
Yeah.
And I tried to look that up and it just came up as Victory.
Yeah, which in some places Escape to Victory was the title in the theaters, and then it was Victory when it went to VHS.
Yeah, that's what the one I read was that American distribution. It was Victory, and then in Hungary or where the hell it was shot as Escape to Victory. But it should be Escape from Victory, which would be a better title.
Well,
I just want to point out that nobody fucking won.
Yeah, it's a tie. Yeah, which I guess is true.
Won, so this Escape from a Drama. Or
that's true.
That's actually a very
draw yourselves an escape or.
Escape to just you can't win this, but Escape from Victory is actually the title of a Father Ted episode.
Oh, okay.
Which involves this soccer game involving very old men.
Oh, well, I suppose that's the reference.
Yeah, and I like because Escape from Victory is what they should have done.
So,
but
I guess the question is this: all said and done, this movie.
Yes.
Why cast Pele in and have him do like nothing?
Bicycle kick.
Yeah, he did the bicycle kick. Well, it just upsets me that the two that I was from a lost generation between these two iconic movies where you have Pele doing the soccer kick and then you have Michael Jordan in Space Jam. And that I was in between. I think what we had was No Holds Barred.
No, what you had
Hulk Hogan.
No, what you had, my friend, was learning how to gleam the cube.
That's true. Okay.
That's a good point.
So I learned that the door is ajar and then teeny wieners. Those are the two things I remember about those movies.
I learned how to have a weird diamond plate skateboard and hit a villain in the head while jumping a concrete pylon.
Anyway, Escape from Victory.
Escape from Victory.
So,
not nearly as good as Gleaming the Cubes.
Yep, exactly.
No cubes were gleamed at all. Bullshit.
So John and I, because apparently we just hate each other, decided that we're going to watch Justice League for the next episode.
Justice League.
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait for you to watch it because I've already watched it and
don't spoil people about how terrible it is.
Yeah. So anyway, you can find John on Instagram at Lugjunkie. You can find me on Twitter at Lugjunkie. I know. I was being sarcastic.
I see. Because you're doing a bit.
Yeah, because he forced some things.
But it's Lugjunkie.
Lugjunkie.
Because we don't plug anything we do, so let's plug Matt. Because I feel I will do that. I don't want to plug anything I do. I will absolutely plug Matt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lugjunkie.
Yeah,
check him out.
Do those things.
Yeah, get into that poll too. I'm going to put that poll up.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah.